Welcome to my video for walking the Isle of Wight coastal path. On a week off work I figured 6 days of walking 12 miles each day would just about do it. Needless to say, didn't quite turn out that way. The Isle of Wight coastal path, it starts here. 70 miles, basically keep the sea to your right, just keep going and you'll get there in the end. I'm going to start at some kind of landmark thing, so we'll do Sandown Pier. So I'll get something to aim for when I see it. So that's where I start and finish. And that's Flanagan's pub just up there. And that's where I'm going to have my first beer when I get back. So yeah, about 7:30 in the morning, unusually for me. So let's get going. "15 minutes in, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've got a sweat on already. So that bodes well. A very wise person once told me, if you're standing in Sandown and you see the boats out there facing to the left, then the tide's gone out. If they're facing to the right, like they are today, then the tide's coming in. I wonder if they're right." You can kind of just keep the sea to your right, but if you ever get really lost, they're quite handy. Always nice to look back and see how far you've come. Not very far really. Halfway up Culver Down by this point, so I thought I'd try and put my phone in a tripod and film myself. And it kind of worked out okay really. Certainly a lot better than my first attempt. Here's the Yarborough Monument on top of Culver Down. Don't really know what to say with this because I don't know much about it, but I'll find out for you. That's where we've come from. That's where we're going. Here we are on the other side of Culver Cliff. I was toying with the idea of walking along the beach, but the person who said if the boats are facing right and the tide's coming in was right. So it's still coming in, so I'm going to have to go along the top and get to Bembridge that way. This is my old workplace as well. I used to work in that beach cafe down there, which was quite good fun of a summer. But for now, we're going to have to go back up and along the top. A wee sun cream stop and water refill at my current employ of Bembridge Coast Hotel. Actually looks quite nice from this angle. Coming into St Helens now. This is nice. Apart from seeing Wight Pier in the distance, another sure sign you're getting closer to Ryde is the Aeroplane Tower. Again, not sure the story is, but I'll get back to you. So then it's just a short walk along the seafront into Ryde, where I joined the old grannies at the bus station and got a bus back to Sandown. I was back in Ryde seafront for the start of day 2 before I had to pick my way up and out through the town. Hello. Got my pack on today and it's making a bit of a difference. You know when you hear these military guys saying 20 miles with a pack, it's the pack that makes a difference. Unfortunately, I soon found myself walking along the main road between Ryde and Newport. The town of Wooton Bridge was quite pretty though, despite the traffic. Isle of Wight coastal path. That's how far from the coast we are. Now, as well as being miles from the coast, something else weird happened. My microphone packed in, but then I thought that might be a blessing. It stopped me hearing all this traffic as I was walking into East Cowes. It also stopped you hearing all the clanking and clunking from the chain ferry as we crossed from East Cowes into West Cowes. This tugboat on the right was the only thing keeping us in a straight line. So then it was through Cowes, along the Esplanade and into the evening sunshine. It was quite pleasant. Went into Sainsbury's and Cowes and bought a snack pack, but unbeknownst to me, it didn't have a spoon with it. So we're going to have to use our toothpaste just now. That's what we reduced ourselves to. By sunset I'd found this great camping spot on the shores of Thornice Bay. Then half an hour after sunset, this was the view from my tent. Day 3 dawned, still without a working microphone, and with me having to head inland to avoid walking through an MOD rifle range. But I was starting to get better at filming myself. So, as well as avoiding the rifle range, I had to negotiate my way around Newtown Creek, which, as you can see from the map, was a little bit of a zigzag. Eventually, after a 5-mile detour of fields, forests and creeks, I was back on the coast. However, the path itself was starting to get a bit close to the edge at some points. Now, as well as walking the coastal path, I'm also one of these geeks who likes bagging trig points. There's 24 on the Isle of Wight in total, and I knew there was one quite close by. I'm on the coastal path, but there's a trig point here as well, so I was trying to find that. I'm kind of faffing around this path in a bit of a clueless manner. The lady up there showed us where it was, gave us a drink, and gave us an ice cream. How lovely is that? Then after my trig point, it was back onto the path and heading towards Yarmouth. I ended up walking 15 miles with all my zigzags, but with rain forecast, my remaining 36 miles was going to change from 3 days of 12 miles to 2 days of 18 miles. Next, let's see the tides coming at this point here. And over there, you can just about see the needles. Heading over that way. Meanwhile, I was being overtaken by a mobility scooter. You know how sometimes you see in the weather forecast that the strongest gust of wind in the UK was at the Needles on the Isle of Wight? Well, this is the location. Then after leaving the Needles, climbed a bit higher still up onto Tennyson Down, which was topped by a huge biblical looking monument to the poet Alfred Lord Tennyson. There also used to be a trig point up here, but that was replaced in 1995 by one of those National Trust topograph things with directions in the top. Still look pretty cool though. Freshwater Bay looked pretty good from the beach, but I think it looked even better from this precarious cliff edge down the far end. In fact, dodgy and dangerous cliffs were becoming a feature of the walk. And the path was getting worryingly close to the edge. Hello, 3760. Don't beat my camera now. Bollocks. Trying to do this path while it's still here. I'm going to fall into the sea one day. The path continued just about as close as it could to the crumbling cliff edges. And I was thinking I better set up camp for the night, maybe a little bit inland. In the end though, I scrambled down the cliff and set my tent up on the beach, which I think was a much better decision. I was feeling quite chuffed with myself because I just walked 18 miles, but then my phone battery died and my power bank died with it. So although I did walk day 5, I got no photos and I got no video. So 2 weeks later I was back to walk the whole day once again. These guys down there had the same idea as me. That was pretty much my camping spot for the end of night 4. It's a stony beach, so weirdly the stones kind of shifted during the night ever so slightly when the tide was coming in. So my head was against the ground mat. I could hear the stones slightly moving during the night, which freaked me out a little bit because I thought this cliff was going to fall on my head. But anyway, it didn't. We're still here. I'm going to start day 5 once again. A bonus start to day 5 was the Sutton Cliff Trig, literally 10 metres off the coastal path. Electric fence to the left, dangerous crumbling cliff to the right. Above all the noise of Black Kang, we can see where it came from. There's the needles away over there. The start of day 5 is over there, so we've come a little bit. Down there is St Catherine's Lighthouse, the furthest point south on the Isle of Wight. This is what the ground's like. Hasn't rained for a week or so. 24-25 degrees every day. Wall to wall blue skies. If you closed your eyes, you could almost hear the sound of summer. Reached Ventnor now. And very nice it is too. Well, it's good enough for him. There's an awful lot of old growth woodland between Ventnor and Shanklin, which is a boon today. It's been so hot. So much shelter in here, it's brilliant. There's a first sign of Culver Down, which means I'm probably about 2-3 miles away from Sandown Pier. So we're nearly there. And there's my first glimpse of Sandown Pier. That is my target. Probably still about 3 miles to be fair. Then due to another cliff path closure, I was sent through the old village in Shanklin. Before I was back down on the seafront, past all the beach huts with about 1 mile to go. 74 miles down, 100 metres to go. Woohoo! Under Sandown Pier. Like some kind of Phantom of the Opera thing. But that means I've made it. And indeed I had made it. Even though I had to walk day 5 twice, I just completed a full circle right around the Isle of Wight. Which looks a little bit like this. My walk hadn't quite turned out the way I planned it, but hey ho, still definitely worth doing. Well done if you made it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, hit like, hit share, all that malarkey, and who knows, there might be another one someday. Cheers for now.